D is for disciple. The word disciple looks a very simple word. After all, we talk about the 12 disciples and we think of them as the 12. But the word disciple literally means student, mathetes. And indeed, everyone who thought of themselves as following Jesus, the followers of Jesus, were the disciples. The disciples is the largest group that followed Jesus. So it's made up of the 12, it's made up of all the other people who followed, it's made up of those who didn't actually walk around with Jesus, but who supported him and listened to his message. So everyone who was a listener to Jesus. Then in the early church, it includes all the people, the apostles, the bishops, deacons, the healers, the exorcists, the teachers. The common denominator of all of them is they are the disciples. They are the ones who are the learners. And so the idea is that Jesus is the teacher. He is the one who is teaching about God. He is the one who is teaching about the Father. And they are the learners. So it is a master-discipleship relationship. What do we mean by disciple? We tend to think of disciple primarily in academic terms and in terms of formal learning. People who've signed up to an idea. So for instance, we might talk about the disciples of a particular school or the disciples of a particular philosopher or theologian. But the notion of mathetes is far more like the idea of an apprenticeship. It's a learning to be with. It's the skills of discipleship. It's the learning to be with the community. So for instance, to look at the Didache, we see that discipleship is presented not so much in terms of academic agreement or having absorbed a particular theory, but in having learned a particular way of life. So disciple should be seen as learning by apprenticeship. It's something that's absorbed, and it's absorbed within the community. So disciple and the community of disciples are almost interchangeable terms. One belongs to the community, and by belonging to the community, one learns what it is to be a disciple. In the 20th century, discipleship came back into the theological arena in a new way, in people, in the work of theologians like Bonhoeffer. Discipleship, not the abstract commitment to a creed or saying one believed, was to be a crucial part of being a Christian. It was not just enough to say, yes, I tick certain beliefs, but one actually had to be prepared to do and act and the way of living. In this, people like Bonhoeffer were recapturing that early sense of discipleship as apprenticeship and learning. So when we use the word disciple, we must not identify it with just the 12. We mustn't just think of it as some sort of set of church functionaries. It must be seen as the common name of all who are the followers of Jesus. But rather than emphasizing some sort of intellectual commitment, it emphasizes a willingness to take on a way of following and a way of life. And that is learned in a community. Viewed in that way, disciple gives us a very good insight into the early followers of Jesus.